Kat Timpf
Hi, Kat.
is walking in. How's it going, Kat?
Good.
You might know Kat from various shows on Fox News.
I know her from Greg's show.
Yep, she's always on Gutfeld.
Yeah,
So you got a podcast on Barstool Sports?
I do.
Yeah, how did that come about?
they saw me on Fox News.
And they were just like, you should do a podcast?
Yeah, I was defending a sorority video of girls dancing around like in bikinis with glitter on them. I was like, they seem to be having a good time to me.
Is it a video podcast?
Mine, no. Mm-mm.
Is there a better way to say video podcast? They saw you and they just said, we want to hear you.
No, that was on Fox. They saw me do that on Fox.
Right, so I'm saying that the podcast is just audio.
It's just audio.
They
Yeah.
call it a vidcast if it's a video podcast.
Do they really?
No.
well, there's a
vlog.
combination. Katie Nolan is a combination of, she started with a podcast but then became video, right?
Maybe I
Right.
should do that, but I like to just come in looking like garbage when I do my podcast.
Yeah, you'd have to come straight from Fox News and leave your TV makeup on or something like that.
Absolutely.
No, you wouldn't. You could just get up and do it, put your hair in a ponytail. You don't have to come all dressed up.
Yeah, I don't know. I get like hair dysmorphia when I don't have my weave in nowadays.
Is that right?
I got it in right now, so I look like a mermaid.
You look
Is that not your
fantastic.
hair?
Thank you. No, I'm wearing 5 tracks of clips right now.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, my hair's like this short.
She's putting it up to her shoulders.
You have
Yeah.
short hair?
Yeah.
Why don't you leave it short? What's wrong? I mean, it looks good now, but what's wrong with short hair?
Because I didn't know this existed. Like, I'm not really somebody who knows things about hair and makeup. And I started working at Fox. I was like, everyone's hair is like so beautiful. And they were like, oh, honey, like that's not their hair.
Yeah, but just put it in your head.
I was like, what? I don't know how to do it myself, though. I bring it in a little bag and then
Yeah.
they clip it in for
How
me.
does it feel?
I can't even notice it anymore.
Oh, you don't? Can you wash it and just like blow dry it?
Oh, yeah, you wash it. I do wash it. Yes.
No, but I mean, it seems to me it's so. You can always tell the difference. You can feel it, and a lot of times in the back of the head, you can feel it, like where it
Yeah.
clumps up a little bit.
It's real human hair. I don't know whose.
Why don't
but-
you just grow your hair?
Because I don't have very good hair.
What's wrong with your hair?
It doesn't grow very, very fast.
Is it thin?
It's thin.
You have thin hair?
I do.
When I dated a black girl in high school, and I made the mistake of running my fingers through her hair at one point. She's like, you can't do that. It was all tracks. I was going to ruin everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
So is it? How thin is your hair? I'm fascinated with this.
I mean, it's thin. It's thin. I'm blonde, so it's thin
Okay.
hair.
How did you start at Fox News?
I wrote columns about political correctness type of stuff, and they had me on a couple times. And then I met Greg, and I was on Red Eye. And then when he started his show, he wanted me to be a correspondent, co-host, whatever on it. So that's how I got hired.
No, that's cool.
Is that a
with
weekly
Mr.
show he
Gutfeld.
does?
Yep,
Saturdays, right?
Yeah.
Saturdays at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
doing really great on the 5.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. He's pretty much like he's the main guy on this
Yeah,
show.
I was like, why was he leaving Red Eye? He's so good on Red Eye. But now you see that this is a bigger show because of when they have it. I
Well,
mean,
it's also on 5 o'clock in the afternoon
Yeah.
instead of 3 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, but he was,
Now, doesn't he have his picture on the building now?
He does.
Does he finally have his picture on
I
the
think
building?
so.
That's big.
I just see his face so often all the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where you're. So, do you find yourself? Were you invested? Do you feel like you would have been invested in the election, or is it something that you now have to keep up with because you're a news personality?
I mean, I've always followed politics. Now I follow it more, obviously, just because it makes my life easier to not
Yeah.
have to prepare as much for each individual segment if I know what's going on. But this one, I mean, obviously everybody was paying attention,
You kind of had to.
but not as much attention as they should have. I guess. Like, oh man.
Yeah, are you surprised with the reaction people have?
I am, and I'm also. I mean, I'm also not. Because, I mean, people were like, even Obama, the president, was like, the fate of our republic depends on this dude not getting elected. Here he is.
Right.
And what did he say in his speech? I didn't see Obama's speech. Did he speech like noon yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Right
did he
after
Yeah.
Hillary's concession.
Yeah, what did he did he actually make a speech? I never saw
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
He said that we hold dear, and it's very important, the peaceful transfer of power,
Yeah.
and that he also, which I can't wait, I think either today or tomorrow.
The meeting is today.
It's
yeah.
today, right?
It's going to be awkward. It's going to be real awkward. He specifically said, with Romney or McCain, at least I thought the whole country wouldn't be ruined, but this guy will ruin the country. And he's like,
Yeah.
all right, hey, guy that I told said I was going to ruin the country.
Then again, Trump has said some really unkind things. He's the worst president ever.
Yeah, exactly. It's
he said
awkward.
some really nasty shit.
And then, the whole birth certificate thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's-
These people, that's weird. They can talk like that about each other, and then they sit down at a meeting and they get it. It's like they both understand this is what we do.
What the
Yeah.
game is. I
Yeah.
don't know, though, because this one's different, because you're right about, the birth certificate thing and
Yeah.
everything. Donald Trump has been a thorn in Obama's side for way longer than this fucking election.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, he's got to be the president. I was telling you, I think he's probably a little bummed
that he has to do this.
I think he wanted to win.
Right.
But his house gets smaller. Air Force One is not shit compared to the jet that he's going around in all the time already.
Yeah, but he's got security. He loves security. Guys
Attention
around him. Oh my God, he's coming in. And nothing better as a guy than having other men talking to their sleeves when you show up. That's being powerful.
Plus, he's probably get to pick his own nickname that the Secret Service is going to call him. Because they got code names for everybody.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to Big Dick
actually,
or something.
They have to make it up. They have to make it
The
up.
president doesn't get to pick his own nickname?
No. He picked Cunt Hound. And they said, no, that's not appropriate.
Mogul is his... First of all, why do they even have code names if everybody knows what they are?
It's also obvious. When there's a bunch of Secret Service guys, they're saying, the Eagle's on his way. You know who the Eagle is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And they're talking into their wrist no, just use a fucking walkie-talkie.
Just say B.O. is coming. We know.
If that were me, I'd make everyone do that, though.
You would?
That's probably the most fun part.
Talking into their wrists and
Be
stuff
she's coming. Yeah.
Bill Clinton was Eagle. Oh, God. Donald was Mogul, and she was Muse.
Tim Kaine was Daredevil.
Oh.
What the hell is that?
He probably picked his own.
That one, I'm sure he picked his own.
Daredevil.
How about Harry? That's what the president should be. Harry.
Yeah.
I really couldn't tell Tim Kaine and Mike Pence apart physically.
You
very
couldn't?
well. They look the same to me.
They both look like the stereotypical older white guy.
I mean, I could pick it in a lineup, but look at that. Am I the only one that's
I think they're very different looking, but Mike Pence is a more dignified, older looking guy, although I like Tim Kaine more. I don't like Mike Pence. He's religious.
Yeah, I don't like that he wants to shock gay kids. I don't love that about him.
He does. He likes the gay camps, right?
Show him a pussy.
Yeah, he's okay with that. Yeah, he's okay with the
fixing him.
Anti-gay therapy for children, which that'll make everything better and definitely not way worse, traumatic, and make them not be able to love themselves forever.
Right, right. I think Mike Pence looks like he looks like they both look like crazy people.
Yeah.
But Mike Pence looks like a put together, very in control Patrick Bateman serial killer.
He looks like Leslie Nielsen in Nuts. Did you see Nuts? Where fucking Barbara Streisand kills him because she's a hooker and he wants to keep partying. He's like, "What are you gonna do? Fuck somebody else?" And then she kills him with a piece of glass.
But I've never seen that. But that does sound like something I would enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does look like Tim
wow,
Kaine.
good call.
Yeah, I see that. And then I mean Mike Pence. And then Tim Kaine looks like he's just got a screw loose, just walking around kind of nuts.
I mean, he probably has no plans.
No.
Like, he was going to be the vice president.
Well, here's poor Tim Kaine. He got thrown into this. Yeah. So a year ago, he was just going to be regular old Tim Kaine.
Yeah.
Then he got thrown into this, and he was talking to his wife, and they made plans like, what's it going to be like to be the vice president?
Checking out DC locations.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Googling every night what power the vice president has, what I'm going to be able to do. He's like, you see this picture of Joe Biden looking all cool, eating ice cream and holding $10 bills? That's going to be me.
Mm-hmm. And nope.
He's got to go back to his regular life.
I still can't. I mean, I can't believe it. I remember how funny it was when Donald Trump announced that he was going to be like, okay, all right, all right. He just came out, said a bunch of racist stuff, and was like, yeah, and I'm going to make America. His speech was so long. Yeah. Remember when he announced it was like really, really long? Yep. And he's going to be the president. Like, that's going to happen.
He's the president-elect. Yeah.
I don't understand why people can't laugh. Like, I get why it's disturbing and all that, but you have to laugh.
You've got to.
I mean, that's a hell of a career trajectory. Like, from The Apprentice to the most powerful man in the world.
Plus, they threw everything at him. They were like, here's a tape of him saying he wanted to grab women by the pussy. This is when he lied about this. Everything he ever said, they were like, here's evidence of him not abiding by that. He said he's pro-life. Here's a tape of him saying he's pro-choice. Yeah. He said he was against the war. Here's a tape of him saying he's for the war. And everyone goes, That
tape was awful. He was saying, I have and do sexually assault women, and then he was laughing. But
hold on a second. Dave Chappelle pointed something out which no one else caught.
Yes.
He goes, and when you're a star, they let you. And that implies consent. That's not sexual assault.
Oh, I mean in terms of the just grabbing people and kissing them part.
Oh, well, he was
the forced kissing.
Under all
forced
of that,
kissing is
but
not.
him grabbing the pussy. Chappelle, I read a quote by Chappelle. Like, what a fucking smart thing to pull out to say that. And it was an obnoxious quote, but it was just.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that Billy Bush got fired and Trump got the presidency.
Billy Bush is sitting there like, I had the Today Show, and now I got nothing.
Yeah, I mean, well, when someone says some stuff, it's offensive, and you laugh along. If you're like interviewing, that's how I feel every time I interview Nick DiPaolo on my podcast. Like, oh yeah, I mean, that's just what you do. You're not going to be like, well, actually, that's problematic, sir. Like, that's not. You can't interview somebody under those circumstances.
But here's what Billy.
People are sick and tired of being told you can't hang an American flag up, or if you wear an American flag T-shirt during Cinco de Mayo or during whatever it is,
it's offensive.
It's offensive and it's aggressive. And if you have a flag in your cubicle, somebody complain. That's the culture that people are tired of. It's being told that everything you like and everything you believe is offensive and everything you think is wrong.
If you go outside,
that's what people are rebelling against.
In those red, white, and blue Zubas, it's a trigger.
Oh yeah,
it's a trigger.
Trigger. Everything's a lot of college campuses are professors are canceling exams and all that kind of stuff.
Some of them are actually
Trump was
fucking.
elected.
A lot of them are not happy. I was surprised. I thought most college students were pro-Trump.
Yeah, they love Trump. But I mean, canceling.
Mr. Out of touch with the youth.
Yeah, but they love it. He's the celebrity. The college kids will love him.
They all watch The Apprentice because they got all the celebrities all together. Sure. They love him.
I could understand why if you were somebody from a certain demographic, especially, you'd be upset by this. But stuff is upset. I wake up every morning very upset for at some reason at least. But you could go to work.
Not since Trump, just in general.
Just in general. That's just like my personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wake up with, is it upset or is it dread? I kind of wake up. I usually wake up with this weird dread.
Yeah.
And go like, okay.
And you realize that once again it's a woman next to you. Like, oh, God damn it.
Sorry about that.
Why am I keep doing this to myself? Yeah. But you go about your day and you point out that it's kind of ridiculous, so maybe it's funny.
Yeah, you gotta laugh.
Yeah.
If you have to laugh at anything. Yeah, the therapy dogs.
Tufts University. What fucking wimps.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
The University of the Arts and Crafts Front offer. The University of Kansas reminded students via social media of therapy dogs available for comfort.
Every other Wednesday.
Why do college students think that college's job is to provide a comfortable place for you? It's not.
No, it isn't.
Their job is not to provide a safe space for you. It's to get you ready to go out and be a fucking adult and to teach you. It's not to provide a safe space.
And they are adults. If you're a college student, you're 18, you're an adult.
You're old enough to go to
100%.
the war, you're old enough. It's not their job to provide a safe space for an adult.
Because this is why people get out of college, right? And then they go to work. And the CEO has a big company-wide meeting, and they're like, I was thinking maybe every other Wednesday the company could provide therapy dogs. And it's like, you want a puppy room, just in case work gets too hard, you can play with some puppies for a while.
Now companies wouldn't even say no to that. They would be like, well, okay, let's weigh the options, and you go to human resources, and the next thing you know, there'd be a fucking dog in the room because human resources is afraid you're going to sue the company for making a hostile work environment.
Yeah, I just can't imagine, calling into work and being like, look, I'm really upset about who the president's gonna be in January, so I can't make it. You shut up.
Right.
No, you don't get to do that.
I did love the protesters last night that were yelling, impeach Donald Trump! And I'm like, you can't, he's not the president.
And he hasn't done anything as the president yet.
He's not even, you can't impeach, he's not gonna be the president for 2-3 months.
Yeah, the people were really, when I said I did the 3 a.m. Shift at Fox coverage. And
was that on election night?
Yeah, as I was walking over there, people were just on the street, just bawling, and there was people with their faces on the ground, bent, just laying there sobbing and rubbing each other. And I was like, was there I looked like somebody died. It looked like it was they just saw a whole family get hit by a bus.
Yeah.
Why were there people laughing as well?
No, I mean they weren't. You can't. I was kind of just okay.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm really big on. It's very important to me to pretty much. I cry in private.
Right.
Right. I'm not a big. Unless if you're sometimes if you drink a little too much and
Are you a crier when you drink?
Oh, I can be. I can be. No, I hate it. It is the worst. I agree.
You fucking don't treat me right.
Yeah, fuck you. Whatever. What are you doing? My birthday was the worst birthday ever.
How often do you cry when you drink?
I mean, not often, but a little too often to say not often.
Well, are you, now when you're in relationships, do you tend to cry about the stuff that's gone wrong when you're with the person? Do you get drunk and then let them know your grievances?
It depends on whether or not I think it'd be advantageous or not.
Okay.
I'm like, do I want to cry in front of him or not? Do I air grievances? Oh, I live every day like it's Festivus, 100%.
You do?
I do.
The airing of grievances.
Just all the time. I'm just walking around airing my grievances at all times.
Now, when you're dating someone, though, does it take a bunch of drinks to make you tell them, or are you a good talker?
I'm a good talker.
Okay.
I mean, is that good though? I think that I would be more successful in relationships if I talked less.
Why?
Because it's just too much.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're not supposed to voice every single complaint, right? Like you're supposed to maybe compromise every now and then, and when it's big enough, address it. But if you're every day just being like, I hate when you fucking do that.
But if you talk about it, you don't wind up hating it. There's like, if you're not happy with your birthday, will you tell them, or does it come out when you're drunk? That's what I'm saying. Is like, there's something I want to go over here, and you do that. They're like, ugh.
Yeah, no, I don't. I try not to do that. I get more angry than I do weepy. Well, you know.
But you'll turn the waterworks on when you think it's advantageous.
Sometimes.
That's
sometimes
dangerous.
It's bad. No, I'm bad. But I just fighting. Although I've been in my most recent relationship, it's just the same circle of fights over and over again. Mm-hmm.
About what?
Oh, you were talking to this person. Well, who's this person? Well, you're talking to this person. Well, you're this person. And
him saying that, or you?
Oh, both, just back and forth.
Oh, back and forth.
Just back and forth. Yeah.
So you're jealous, and then you meet somebody who's also jealous.
Yeah.
It's just a
Did you have
never-ending
reason to be,
cycle.
though?
Yeah.
You both did?
Yeah, I guess.
Was he cheating?
Not we started as good friends, and so we know everything about each other's past.
Okay.
Which is good that we're friends, but then it's bad because all of us as humans are nightmares.
Right.
Of
course.
If you know someone well enough, you're gonna know they're garbage. Which is why you shouldn't, dating your friends. You should date somebody who you know not well enough. You get to keep a facade of I am a beautiful princess,
Right.
And I have never, look at my little smile, and that would be better for me.
You know what people tell me my biggest problem in a relationship is?
What's that?
I care too much.
Yeah, me too.
I
I just work too
Like a
hard on the
terrible-
relationship.
Yeah, it's like terrible job interviews.
I'm too giving.
Yeah, do you have any? What's your flaws that your previous employers have said? Well, I don't know when to turn off my work life and start doing personal life. I just work all the time.
You tell me you work too much, you don't play enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, why don't you get out of the office? Do you ever leave?
So
Did you dump your ex, or did he dump you?
Oh, it's been a circle of.
You just keep dumping
just,
each other?
It's great. Yeah.
Oh, you still kind of in and out, in and out?
We'll see.
Yeah, I understand that.
That's the fun of having
Sure.
Are we friends? Are we dating? Now are we
It's a
not
nightmare.
dating?
It's all a nightmare. Everybody, I should have stayed in Detroit. Everyone's married and has 2 kids.
But it's good to kind of have a friend because they know you and you know them. So the fact that there's no surprises can also help. Like if you
Yeah.
both know, like, all right, we're hunks of shit.
Yeah.
There's something to that where, like, the big reveal never happens because you're both kind of like, all right, I already kind of knew that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of true.
Are you a nightmare to date?
Yes.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
are?
I can be. I mean, I'm fun.
Yeah.
I'm not boring to date,
I
which is
wouldn't
a
imagine.
nightmare of its own.
What makes you
Yeah.
a nightmare?
Oh God! Oh jeez. Well, I really do need the other person to be obsessed with me, but then I also kind of need my space.
Oh, you want total control over the amount of contact, but you always want it ready when you want it.
Yeah. Well,
cool.
it's kind of like. If I am texting, like I'm crazy. I'm a Scorpio, and I don't even believe in that, except for it does fit here. I'll text you a million times, and if you don't answer me, I'll be like, I'll move to another platform. Like I'll go on Facebook Messenger, and I'll go on this, and I'll be like, I saw you were active 1 minute ago. What are you doing? But if you do that to me, I'm like, what's your problem?
Yeah, you
Right.
stalker.
Chill out.
So did that ever?
I'm working.
If you have that level of self-awareness,
I do.
did you ever try to correct the problem?
I do, but I'm also very impulsive.
Right.
Sometimes you just want to make the bad feelings go away, and the only way to do it is through text messages.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
Yep. And eventually it goes wrong.
It does go
does.
wrong.
Oh my! I've ruined so many things in text. I try to get too dirty, or I get too nosy, or I get whatever. Text can ruin you because you just whatever you think you send
Stream
it
of
out.
consciousness text messages have ruined
Never
me a lot.
good. Is there anything worse, by the way, than when you're doing something, you had a bit of a tiff with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and then you open your phone, and it says like 9 new texts, and it's just like paragraph after paragraph, and you're like, oh, you fuck! I'm not gonna read all this.
Yeah, I do that. And I'm like,
you send the giant text.
yeah, I do, and I will edit them. I will go through them and I will edit them.
Oh my gosh.
Also, I will send drafts of screenshots, drafts to friends. And be like, what do you think about this one? They're like, oh, we'll add this. It's a nightmare.
Oh, my
It's-
God.
Yeah. You're covering your face with your hands.
It's way too dramatic.
I know. It is.
You kind of have a lot going on now. Like
I
you're on
have so much
TV, you got
going on.
podcasts, you're still writing columns. Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't you just want to stop all that nonsense?
You would think.
I would think. But
You
it's
would
life
think.
fuel.
That's what my friends and family all say.
Yeah,
Well,
you-
They know you're obsessive.
I think so. I mean, I feel like it'd be hard to ignore. I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
You guys got that vibe right away.
Right away, yeah.
Not really. I would have known it if you didn't say it. I mean, I've never seen you interact.
But I probably wouldn't have asked if, like, my assumption was that you were very easygoing and just pleasant in a relationship. I probably wouldn't have asked if you were a nightmare, right?
I mean, I can be, like I can be. The thing is, I do have my own thing going on. Like, I'm not like someone who will ever be defined by a relationship or be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I can't hang out every night. You know?
Right, absolutely.
So but I can still find a way to smother you from afar.
Did you ever catch him doing anything he shouldn't do? Text message he shouldn't have sent that was kind of dicey?
Yes and no. I don't know. I kind of just don't really look. So
Well, when you
much.
said yes or no, what did you catch him doing that you're like, I don't know about that?
It'd just be like, who's this? What were you doing? Who are you talking to? Like, why were you up at 3 a.m? It says you were active on Facebook 4 hours ago. You
check when they were active? Oh, you're a problem.
Yeah, I'm a problem.
You're a problem.
You think your goose would be cooked?
Oh, fucking. Not really, because people know getting involved with me, it's going to be a shit show.
Right.
No one goes into it with me expecting great things. But, I've dealt with that too, where they check your activity or your whatever. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Give me a fuck. But then again, I've done it too. I just haven't said it. Like, I'll talk to somebody and I'll send them a message and I won't hear back from them. And they'll be like, on Facebook, they were there fucking 2 minutes ago and they never got back to me. Fuck them. So
That's
you
on
do
purpose,
notice
I
it.
feel like. When people tweet when they didn't respond to my text, it's like, all right, fine. You just don't like me.
I thought that too, but then I'm like, I've done it too, and I'm like never thinking of the other person when I do it. I'm I'm annoyed when they bring it up. Like, so what do you want?
Yeah.
Did you change too? Because, like, I would imagine now, and any guy that you're with would have to know that you have a lot more options because you become a public
That
figure.
creates a lot of problems.
Right.
That creates a lot of problems.
Especially, like, the Fox News fans, because the Fox News fans know that, like, they hire all hot chicks.
Mm-hmm.
So they watch, like, they fall in love with the correspondence. And I see, because anytime we have any of the women that are on Fox News on here, like, you see all the Fox News groupies.
Yeah, I have Fox News and I have Barstool.
Right.
So I'll have,
and
like,
Barstool's all
athletes
dudes.
and, like, I'll have athletes hitting me up or whatever, and like guys.
Boy.
So, and that'll create a lot of problems too. Like, that's where he'll be like, you have all these other options, and I'm like, that's fact.
What
like,
kind
that
of work
is
does
a
it?
fact.
Yeah, but you're a hot blonde. You would anyway. Like, what, it's
Yeah,
not
but
like,
she
it's
wouldn't
not
have
like,
athletes hitting her up. She just wouldn't have access to them.
Maybe
Right.
not, but women.
He uses the word access all the time. You have access to these. You know.
That
What-
would
what
make
kind
me
of work
really
does he do?
insecure.
I don't
really?
want. I don't want to do anything to identify this person.
Okay, let me just say that's fair.
But he's not a public person.
No.
Is he in? He's not a television personality.
No.
Okay, so he doesn't have that same
I can't.
accent.
I don't think ego can date ego, but like I found everybody's such an ego.
You know,
I have a
ego, it
huge
stands
ego.
for easing God out.
I do. Oh, I do. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, that was a bad joke, but it does make sense.
Oh no, it was true.
Yeah, if I was dating somebody who was like the fun girl that talks about sports that athletes like it would drive me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
How
would be terrible.
How they hit you up on social media?
Yeah, they'll follow they follow you to see if you follow back, and then they'll slide in the DMs.
Oh yeah.
That's what they
But you
do.
can always,
Well, that's how I got you on this show. You
Yeah.
followed me, and I slid directly into your DM.
You did, exactly.
Yeah.
But you know quickly if that's good. I've done that too, and a lot of times it doesn't work. Like, somebody's not interested, you can tell they're not interested, and sometimes they might be interested.
It's fun.
It's worth trying.
You don't even watch sports. Why are you following them? Why
Like-
are you?
It's fun. It's a fun thing to
Yeah.
like have like even like I wanted to go to the Danny Brown show, and like I'm from Detroit. I'm a huge Danny Brown
Who is
fan.
he?
It's amazing.
He's a rapper from Detroit.
He's
and
out of his fucking mind.
I slid into his DMs and I was like, "Do you want to do my podcast?" And he was like, "Oh, I can't." But like, he invited me to the show, and I like went back and we like hung out all night.
Right.
And I'm like not like I don't like hook up with Danny Brown, but like it was like really fun, and
Right.
everything. And then me and this guy were like on an off time when this happened, and she just looks at his Facebook. He's like, "What the hell?" And like I get that. Like I am actually like empathetic to that.
But he thinks you're fucking Danny Brown.
Yeah, but I'm not. Like I'm not.
Did you make out with him?
No, it was
Come
just.
on.
But I was. He was great. Danny was like really cool, like fun.
But
chill
you also
guy.
like when you slide into somebody's DM and they're like, "Oh, come to the show," and you're like, "Yeah, for sure." Even if you were dating this guy at the time, even if you weren't on an off period, you couldn't. It'd be tough to be like, "Oh, and can I bring this dude with me?" Because it's like, "Oh,
Right.
Well, your
Yeah, I
boyfriend
guess.
wasn't happy you were hanging out with that guy? I can't. What's wrong with your boyfriend?
I don't have a boyfriend.
Oh.
I haven't had a boyfriend technically for about a year and a half.
Okay, so he's a guy that you see. He really has no right to say
Just
anything.
on again, off
Oh,
again.
thank you. That's what I was saying the other night.
Yeah.
Does he want to be your boyfriend?
I don't know.
I bet
This
he
is
does.
really bad. I hope nobody listens to this.
Nobody listens to it. It's not a popular
Well,
show.
you're not saying anything bad. You're
No.
just saying you don't know what your status is.
I don't.
You're
I care about this person.
And
know?
that you slept
You
with
do.
Danny Brown.
That's
Yeah, so
that's
what?
not good. That's
Big
not.
deal.
That's
No, it's
not
great,
true.
actually. It's phenomenal.
That's not true.
Even
If
if it
that
wasn't
were true,
true, I'd
it-
make you pretend it was.
Yeah, for my brand. You think that'd be good for my brand?
Absolutely.
I was
All
about
right.
to say, I know it's not true. But if it were true, Jim, would you want her to share the intimate details with you while you were in intimate moments?
A lot.
You would.
Yep. Yep.
You like that?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd be really happy about that.
So if you found out that like your ex or your on again, off again, whatever, was hanging out backstage with Danny Brown, you'd be pissed and then you would masturbate?
It would depend. Not I don't like a recognizable face.
I see.
Like in Dirty Fan, I prefer like anonymity. Like I don't want it to be a there's no girl I've ever dated that I'm like, well, we should have sex with this celebrity. It wouldn't
Right.
turn me on.
Right.
You know, oh, my girlfriend wants to get teabagged by Liam Neeson. That's hot. You know, like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to know that.
I mean, I don't really think about it that much. I was kind of just like, I want to go to this concert and I'm
Yeah.
gonna have tickets.
How
Right.
was it?
Kind of bring my friend Sabrina.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a one, and he was really nice, really fun. We showed each other pictures of like our cats. You know,
Do you text
I do
with him? I mean,
sometimes. Yeah,
cool.
just
That's
Detroit people.
Right. Right.
Yes, that's
You
the
know?
bond.
Yeah,
Danny Brown. Where does Bond?
that was bad.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So, 3 to 5 a.m.
Yeah.
doing election coverage.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess for this one, because you walked in, I kind of thought this election, and I said it was going to be boring. I thought it was going to be
think-
over
You
by
said
like
an
11.
early night, and I told you were wrong. I did. So you were wrong.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You said it was going to be an early night for Hillary.
I did say it was going
I
to be an
thought so
early
too.
night for Hillary.
No, I thought so too.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna just stroll on in there and like, yeah,
Nobody's
well,
gonna be
you know,
watching, yeah.
yeah. And instead, it was a very emotionally intense experience.
Were you on when they actually called it? 'Cause
Right.
It was late. I went to bed like 1. And they started calling.
right before? Like I went on right after.
Oh,
And
after,
everyone
okay.
was like, "Well, wow," and then we were having like this, Democrat who was like very upset. They're very upset.
They're upset, right?
People
Well,
were-
do you like Trump or are you not a Trump person?
I'm not a Trump person.
Okay.
I'm also not a Hillary person. I'm not. I just was, the whole election season was just like, what the hell,
Did you enjoy the show?
The show,
The whole election.
I mean, that's the
process.
only way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's terrifying, but also it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do but laugh? You have to laugh. Anything can be funny, no matter how bad it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Were you on with Megyn Kelly?
I was one. You mean ever? Like I was before, like towards the end of election season, but not
I like
election
her.
night. I like her a lot.
Yeah.
She's great.
You like Megyn Kelly?
Yeah, she's married with kids, but otherwise I think she and I'd be great
Yeah,
together.
that's the only thing stopping you guys. I'm sure.
Yeah, you think you
Yeah.
did
I heard,
otherwise?
I
Would be
heard she
great
likes
together.
you too, but if only,
She said that, right?
Big
she was
fan.
like, she's like, oh, I wish I wasn't married. Have you seen Jim Norton?
Yeah.
She looks better with short hair.
You think so?
Yes, I do. I
know
think
what?
she's beautiful either way, but I think she looks better with short hair.
I
So you
agree.
see her face better.
And it's very rare that I would agree to that. Almost all the time women...
Then again, she looks good there too. Good God.
Yeah, she does. But you know
Yep.
what? She'd probably look okay in that position, even if she had
What did
short
she
hair.
do when she did those saucy, and might I say inappropriate? What did she do back then? Was she still on Fox back then, or was
Yeah.
she modeling?
No, she was on Fox.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a GQ spread or something. Yes. Yeah. But she was on Fox.
She's wearing a dress. It's like a big deal.
Well,
No,
yeah,
it's
but
it's a very
very, very tight.
slinky
yeah, well,
dress.
Yeah. Very
Look
slinky.
at her. Look at that. Her bosom is almost showing. She looks wonderful. Lovely.
So you've liked doing the Barstool podcast too?
So much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the Barstool, they moved to New York, and now the office is it's a bar. It's sponsored by like Bacardi Oak and there's just like, I don't even know. I'm not good at estimation. I'm a girl, not so much math. A lot of like walls and walls of this Oak and people are sitting there. They're just drinking. They're having fun.
It's a live podcast?
My podcast, no, it's not live.
No, I mean in live from a live audience.
No.
Oh.
But I should do that.
Yeah.
I like to perform.
Bring people in. How did Fox react to you launching the podcast? Do they care about like what do you say? Don't go this far, or do they just
I
like,
think
whatever?
my own anxiety keeps me from generally going too far.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna leave here worrying about this, but too late now, man.
Well, you didn't say anything bad at all. You just talked about relationships and being a little bit, that was all normal stuff.
I know. You hate to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I think that makes you more interesting. When people see you as a complete person, I think it makes them a more interesting, and people connect to you more. And they, I always find that I don't like somebody who just has a persona. It never interests me. I think people who are real people are more interesting.
I kind of just can't help myself, so that's good news.
Yeah, I mean, you just like to cry and stalk. I mean, I think that's fine.
Look, I don't. Well, I guess stalk. I mean, stalk implies it's in person.
No, I was phone stalked for 2 years, but
Phone stalked.
Yeah, but that's like stalking. It's very invasive. But I know you're saying is you tend to be a bit aggressive or invasive. It's not stalking.
Yeah.
Stalking.
No. Well, digital stalking. A little bit.
A little bit.
I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You just want to be informed.
Yeah, I'm just, information.
That's
Protecting
the point.
your investment.
Put a camera in your house, This is what it is.
So what was the vibe like by the time you get to like 5 a.m.? Like, what's that 4 to 5 a.m. hour like of election coverage? Because by then, everybody knows, everybody's exhausted by it. Everybody's trying to sleep, I guess.
But you're on the West Coast too, though, so
That's
it's
true.
still a little bit earlier there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people were still not accepting it. I mean, people were very much in denial.
They were trying to figure out, like, okay, no, this will be like 2000. They're going to go back on it.
But it wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. They're sitting there by like 11 o'clock when they were like, yeah, we don't know which way Florida is going to go, but it's very heavily Trump. And so is Ohio and
Michigan.
And Michigan.
Well, Michigan was too close till the next day, but they called fucking the New York Times, whatever app they're using. They said that artificial intelligence has picked like the last 4 or 5 accurately, and they said it was a 91% certainty, like 11 o'clock. I was pretty impressed.
It was so fun too because there were like a handful of professors that were going on TV and going, well, it doesn't go with any of the polls, but we've predicted the election accurately every year for the last 20 years based on this mathematic equation, and this says Trump is going to win.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, get the fuck out of here. What are you
crazy.
talking
What was the
about?
equation, did they say?
It was like, no, there was a whole algorithm of amount of media coverage and amount of money spent and amount of money brought in and it was all these factors that get added all together.
But wasn't this the first time that the guy who spent less won?
I think so, but it was also like he had much more media coverage.
Yeah.
A
So I'm
lot
sure
more.
that
Because, he couldn't stop.
no,
He just couldn't
no,
stop.
no. I mean, and it was the right move, obviously.
But I get why we're fascinated. People are like, why do we always talk about Trump? Because a guy who was a reality show star who's never been in politics is now the most powerful man on earth.
Yeah.
I get why it's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's something that deserves to be talked about for all of time. Like it's literally Obama's election was historic. It's the first black president. That is a thing.
Right.
But like this is easily the most historic election of our lifetime.
Hillary must be so mad. I mean,
So
I can't. I mean,
pissed.
I can't even imagine how
Yeah.
upsetting that must be to lose to the guy whose previous job was the host of The Apprentice.
You think she's humiliated?
I know she is.
Like that's how much they hate me that they
Yeah.
voted for Donald.
Of course, she's humiliated.
Right.
Oh.
How could this happen? And you're right what you said before. It's like you could protest it and you can be mad about it and that's cool, but like you can't sit around and act like an injustice was done.
Yeah.
Because we played by your rules, Hillary.
Mm-hmm.
We played by those rules that you have done for, 50 years or however long she's been in politics. Like, it was completely by the book politics.
Since the 70s, she was in on the Watergate hearings, so she's been here since the 70s.
I know just in previous election, even when she was running, against Obama in the primaries, it was like a discussion of, is it sexist to call her Hillary? And then Trump comes out and he's just like, crooked Hillary. He only calls her crooked Hillary. I was like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah. Right.
Crooked Hillary Clinton. She's probably sleeping. It's okay. Like, unbelievable. It was everything he said was like a roast of something or somebody.
Great.
Crooked Hillary.
Crooked Hillary.
Hillary.
She doesn't have the stamina. She doesn't have the energy for it. I don't think she's going to be able.
sleeping.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of president he'll make. He may be, like we've said before, he may be amazing. He may be a disaster. But he, just knowing what I know about him as far as I lived in one of his buildings at one point, and I know that that's no indicator of how
So
he'll
you're
be
like
president.
best friends.
No. But he really does run a fucking, whatever it is, people that work
The
for
bathroom
him
was clean.
do their jobs properly. So we'll see. Maybe that will translate. Look, Bloomberg was a very, very smart businessman, and again, it turned into making him a very good mayor.
He was a good mayor.
So maybe that will work in Trump's favor. Maybe it won't. But Bloomberg was better than anyone thought he was going to be. And don't forget the sneaky shit he did getting a third term.
Oh yeah, he did.
You know what I mean? There was a term limit, and he went back there and backdoored and got a little vote, and then got his third term.
Oh yeah.
It's so sad that a lot of people know about him is the whole don't drink the large soda ban issue.
That's all people were.
I was like, don't take my soda away, you piece of shit. I didn't drink a gallon of soda at once every day. Like, Jesus.
That made me love him.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be
soda
drinking
away?
that much.
No, I just love that he was doing that, because people who are big and fat, it's about them taking up like medical, dollars for like the health issues they have, or for sitting on planes. They complain like you shouldn't. It's not war on fat people, but
I mean, as a
Good, why
libertarian,
not?
I think I'm like obviously against that, but at the
Yeah, of
same
course.
time, it's like you do understand the reaction and why it was so strong. Because if you are somebody who's drinking an XL big gulp, you need it all in one sitting. You can't just go get two, throughout the day if you want.
No,
you
you need-
have some stuff.
You need to know. I like a big soda because I like knowing it's not going to run out. I
Yeah.
like to know that I'm going to be able to carry this with me. I'm going to have an hour or so, or however long it is, where I'm not going to need a refill.
what did you think of, as a libertarian? What did you think of Gary Johnson?
Nice guy. I like Gary. All the stuff with Weld at the end was insane. Like everything kind of fell apart.
It really did.
Hey, why the libertarian? This was a great year for them, and they just fucking shot. Not that they would have won, but it was still a nice. Believe me, I want a third party. And he just
Yeah.
ugh, what are you doing?
Yeah, you
dude?
could have gotten something. You could have gotten more than 2%.
Well, like you said, all the people on Twitter that are like super hashtag I'm with her are like, if you voted for Gary Johnson, fuck you. You're not invited to brunch. Die. Hope you die in a fire. You ruined it. Now we're all going to get exterminated. It's like, chill out, though, a little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you shouldn't have fucked Bernie out of the nomination. Maybe you should have won it fair and square, and his supporters wouldn't have hated your guts.
I thought that too. Exactly. It's like, if you're in the DNC, do you ever think if you need to play dirty to get this person through the primary, then maybe not the best for the general.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, Gary Johnson didn't take away any votes from Hillary. It has
No.
nothing to do with why Hillary lost.
No. I mean,
Although 2%, that 2%.
Yeah, but it's not like it was all Hillary voters that voted for Gary
Right.
Johnson. I think it was mainly Trump. I bet most of that 2% would have gone to Trump.
And
Yeah.
believe me, I do think you're correct.
Yeah.
yeah.
I absolutely think you are correct.
Wait a minute. Is that a clue into what your secret vote could have been?
No, I'm just saying I think you are absolutely correct.
Oh.
That people who would have supported Trump over Hillary, in a lot of cases, may have voted for Gary Johnson.
Yes.
Even if they didn't like him.
I think so. Oh.
So I'm speculating.
Just to speculate, Jim is very secretive about who he votes
all
for
are.
because he
Good,
doesn't
yeah.
like to talk about politics.
We don't talk politics on this show.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't talk
Didn't discuss
politics
business
here.
at the table.
Yeah, I mean,
it's rude. It's rude.
very rude.
Yes, you know that.
Yeah, it's I hate that people will be like, live television like, so when are you voting? Who you voting for? What do you do? Can we just talk about my text messaging habits? It's a lot less personal.
Right. Guess
I'd
who I
love to know.
DM'd? Yeah.
Do you send in appropriate photos?
No.
Okay.
Is that because you're on?
Yeah,
you're
I'm
a public
scared
person
of my.
now?
Yeah, I was scared of like my iCloud getting hacked or whatever. Like
Smart.
It'd be bad enough with just even some. I text with all those stream of conscious messages. But yeah, I'm not gonna have that stuff out
Why
there.
do you use the iCloud as a public figure who people would want to hack into? Stop. The iCloud fucking stinks. Back it up to your computer. And do not involve the stupid iCloud. That's how they hack you.
Yeah, that is how they hack you.
So stay away from the iCloud.
It's not going-
It's not
dude,
necessary. I don't know.
It's
I
going.
know.
Everybody is going to have to use the iCloud.
Until I will not use it until they figure out a way.
I promise you, they will launch a phone that has like 2 gigs of storage on it, and they will say it'll just put your photos on the iCloud. That's what
Not
Google just
happening. Not happening until they figure out a way to.
You got a lot of naughty photos.
Yes, I
Quite a
do.
few.
A lot.
did. You know he's got a lot of naughty photos. It's happened more than once where Jim will be like showing you something on his phone. He's like, "Yeah, see, that's what it look." Whoops, and he takes.
Yeah.
I've gotten so many whoops when I'm with Jim. Whoops.
The bottom line is until they figure out a way to allow you to choose very simply what you want to back up to the cloud and what you only want backed up on your phone to your computer. That's how dumb they are and how out of touch they are with how fucking vulnerable their system is. How about you have a way to save certain photos only to your phone and onto your computer.
So like literally an option for like
color coding.
Yeah.
I'll say it publicly.
That's a good idea.
How about this? You push a certain thing, and you could turn the option off and then automatically back them up to your iCloud if you want. But if you want to, you can double tap a photo, and it will have a very thin little green line around it, and that means that photo is on your phone or directly to your computer only, no iCloud backup. This way, your fucking stuff, if it gets hacked, you understand all your private stuff, the truly humiliating things, are not going to get taken.
I love.
And how about this with the text messaging?
Yes.
How about you ever go to text somebody and it's just sitting in the inbox for 6 months and you're like, oh my God, they never got that?
Yes.
How about on your list of text messages, they have a color coding, like a light blue tint or something, on the ones that have a message in your outgoing box that have never been sent?
We need to send you to Cupertino.
Dude,
Yeah.
how
And
hard
have
is
you
that?
sit with
You're in the wrong
fucking-
business. You gotta, use
How
this
hard
great
are those
idea.
things? You want to instead of taking away the fucking jack that you can plug your headphones in,
Bullshit,
these
yeah.
dummies,
Yeah.
these lateral moving assholes with a fucking watch. How about you make the iPhone a little bit more effective and safer for people?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not safe.
I agree.
Yeah.
Wow, a bunch of great
Hey,
ideas.
look, I'm not using your iCloud. I'm not using it. All these people who have gotten hacked have all been hacked through the iCloud. You know how many people are probably not using it for that reason?
Let's get Eddie Q in here, and you can tell him what a piece of shit.
But I
he is
shouldn't
for
have to
doing
think of this. I didn't graduate high school.
Yeah.
You know, how about you dumb motherfuckers at Apple think of a way to make your iCloud a little bit safer, or Google. If you want to force people to use this dumb cloud system,
Right.
allow them to keep certain photos only on their phones.
I don't think it's a thing that's stopping anybody from buying phones.
No, not buying phones.
So I don't think they're
but
worried
it's
about
stopping
it.
a lot of people from using iCloud. I'm telling you, it is stopping
I
people.
don't think so. The fappening was a huge success.
It was, but after that, when people saw, oh, that's how vulnerable their system is, because you can hack into it as many times as you want until you get in. With the phone, you only got 10 shots at it.
Right.
Email's different. Like my dumb email, there's not a million things in there. Like the phone is where it's at. And the phone, 10 times and it resets?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Kat, I feel like we've all learned things today.
I think
Yeah.
so. I think that'd be a great idea to be able to,
Color code?
Select color code.
I've been saying that for a year. I'm just not
To
saying it
who?
to anybody. Exactly.
To me, like
To my
what-
friends.
Maybe Apple and the nudie hackers are colluding together in a conspiracy.
Yes.
That could be it.
Because the bottom line is they just caught somebody at Apple saving customers' photos and they were
Eddie Q.
passing it around.
That scares me.
It's disgusting. And I knew that was going to happen. That's people are going, no, we're not allowed to. I get it.
Yeah.
But you're going to tell me fucking Scarlett Johansson goes in there with her phone to update to another phone and some guy might not go, oh, fuck, I'm keeping these.
Yeah.
I saw Snowden. They're keeping track of everything.
Yeah.
I saw it.
You got to protect yourselves.
You do. You do.
And protect other people's information.
Yes.
It's not. I don't have any nude photos of myself like that are full face to body.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see my dick. Nobody cares about Jim Norton's dick. Fine, you want to look at it? Good.
Don't say that about yourself.
Yeah.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
believe.
know.
I'm saying I've tried to make them care and they won't. I show people, look, my dick. They're like, I don't want to see that.
This is harassment.
You're my brother. But you know what I mean? It's not a matter of self-importance. It's also other people's information.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think that everybody's gonna be hacked one day. It's all something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no, and it's like I think like people are like, well, I don't have anything on my. I'm like, but do you really nothing?
Right.
There's nothing on your whole computer.
I hate that argument. Well, I don't mind if they look in, because if you're not doing anything wrong, then you're not going to mind if they see what you're doing.
Everything I've ever done is embarrassing, at least a little bit.
Right, right.
It doesn't matter if it's illegal but just no.
You
Right.
prefer to keep your business yours.
Absolutely.
How many people have said things about their boss or maybe a coworker at Fox or
Yeah.
whatever that you don't want people to know? It's not all about sex. You could just say something stupid in a text that they grab.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or find out that's why you didn't come to my birthday party. You're dead to me.
That's it.
It could really. I mean, stuff like that does ruin friendships.
It does. It does. Well, listen, we're out of time.
Bummer, man.
By the way, last thing, have you ever like gone on your Facebook thing and you see in the feed where they open your photos to give you options?
Oh, yeah.
And they're
That's
like,
my
no one
nightmare.
can see this but you. I'm like, oh, fucking
You're like, would
thank
you like
God.
to upload all these now?
No! Dude, I almost did that to a Dropbox thing. I was like, I unplugged it.
Oh,
You
no.
did?
Yes.
Just unplug it and threw it.
Fucking, I panicked. I really did. I threw it like it was on fire off my bed. Very scary.
Because you didn't want to upload it into your Dropbox?
But they did say on this Facebook, no one can see this but you. I'm like, thank God, how hard it'd be to explain how my dick is circumcised in some photos and not in others.
Oh boy.
Kat, people can find your podcast on Barstool Sports.
Barstool Sports
And
every
you're
Monday.
great on Greg's show. Really
Thank
great.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
It's on Barstool Sports. It's the Kat Timpf show. We're going to tweet it out at Jim and Sam Show so you can get the link. And is there any Fox News appearances?
I'll be on at 2:15 today.
Okay. So that's where you can see Kat again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. And next time you're over there in the morning, swing by.
I just might.
That sounds great.
Thank you.
And I got a bunch of gigs. Just go to jimnorton.com if you want to see